Welcome back to the 3811 podcast. This is the podcast for the people and only the people. All varieties, all kinds, all minds think alike that do think alike. I think I got that right. But yeah, we appreciate it. I got my good friend, my brother Chad in here. I have my brother from another planet. I mean, another mother, Jamal in here. What's up? So what's going on, fellas? I'm glad we could all get together and make this thing happen. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely wanted to get this thing going, man.
Chilling on this good Thursday, you know.
Yeah. So, yo, my question is, which one y'all got? No, I'm joking. I think the thing that we have come together at this roundtable about, one of the topics is the sleep paralysis. Chad basically got 1 million views on one status off of Facebook, and it's like monumental. So I never had it. So this is my time to just sit back and chill and listen to the stories and see if anything like correlates to what I done or whatever. But one of y'all take the lead and let me hear this.
Yeah, I'll jump right on into it, man. I went ahead and put the post out there. And it was just like honestly, like a generic post, just talking about who out there has experienced sleep paralysis. And, even when you hear that term sleep paralysis, that's kind of like, just the doctor's terminology of, what you're experiencing. But truly, though, it's like this supernatural type of experience. And it's something that, keeps a lasting effect on you. Because a lot of these things people experience as young as 4, 5, 6, and most people can remember it all the way from back then. And I have a lot of those stories that deals with that type of stuff, even up to adulthood. And so I just was thinking about it one day, just like, man, who else has experienced this type of thing? And the responses, was very much overwhelming. And, a lot of people jump right into it and say, yep, I've experienced it. Yep, I've experienced it. It's a lot of pictures that I've attached to that post as well. And it was just basically a lot of, images of what one would see when they're experiencing this type of sleep, feeling. And basically like a dark figure that's kind of in the room when you're sleeping. And so but yeah, when you talk about sleep paralysis, basically it's basically not having the ability to move or really respond to like this force that's happened to come inside of that room where you are. And you're just literally numb, and all you can move really is your eyes, but yet you're conscious, you're aware. It's like you're, very awake in this dream state, but yet it feels very real. And, like I said, I got stories for days. We can sit here and talk about it.
Stories also.
Right. I'll just start out with one of my first stories. And like I said, we can bounce back and forth. We can kind of go into it, but like,
get your popcorn ready.
Yeah. Like I said, man, experiencing this type of stuff at a very young age, never understood it, never knew what it meant, but I knew it put the fear of God on the inside of me. It definitely left more questions than answers for myself. But, I just figured that I wasn't the only one who was experiencing the type of thing. So like one of the first things I can remember at a young age, I was living in Orangedale at the time, living with my mother. And I remember just falling asleep in the other night. And I was, awakened by something. I don't remember what kind of woke me up, but I remember I couldn't really move my head, and like I can just look to the left and look to the right. And I try to get up because like I'm like, all right, I'm awake, but like I can't move. So I'm like panicking, like what's going on? Like why can't I move? And so like as I'm panicking because I can't move, it just, you ever have that feeling where you sleep on your arm?
Yeah, and if I fall asleep.
And all of a sudden it's like you trying to move that on, but it's like, ooh,
That joint just
it kind of flaws like, oh, wait a minute. Like, wait a minute. It literally is that feeling, but all over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so like, I was like realizing like, oh crap, what do I do next? And all of a sudden this like rush of fear just came into the room. Like, and I can't describe it all the way, but like, it was just this overwhelming feeling of like I'm about to die or like something's about to get me. And soon as I felt that, this dark type of figure, man, just came, busting through the room. And I didn't have no facial features. It just had like this kind of this aura around it. And it was just all black. And it had this large hat. And, I remember it had just long arms and it was kind of walking slowly towards me. And I remember like, man, this is it. And like I said, I'm a kid, man. I didn't know what that meant.
That's scary.
Right. And I mean, it just freaked me out because like, what is this? I couldn't explain it. And of course, over the years that there's so many different stories I can kind of get into, but I kind of want to hear my man
save the good one.
Yeah.
Took him back with Jamal's good one. It's not a competition, but
No,
it
not
is
at
a
all.
competition.
Now we're going to bounce it.
Yeah, bounce it
So
off each other.
my very first time sleep paralysis, my first time, I was probably like 12, 13.
That was probably me in the corner room about to sock you.
Anyways, I never forget, I'm laying on the bed and I was watching TV at first. So I cut the TV off, so like, I'm just gonna lay here. So my mom came in the room to get on the computer.
Yeah.
So as she walked through the door, I'm like, hey mom, what you about to do? But as I'm saying these things, nothing is coming out. Like words are not coming out.
I feel like you told me about that when we was little or something.
And for some reason, I was laying on my stomach. I'll never forget this. And I couldn't move. So like my arms was in front of me. I couldn't move, couldn't do nothing. All I could do was slightly turn my eyes. So for some odd reason, I slightly turned my head to the right. And when I turned my head to the right and looked back, I just seen this all black, shadowy figure just sitting on my back the whole time. So the whole time I'm looking at my mom, just yelling like, mom, mom. It's like I can hear the words, but she wasn't responding. So I'm thinking like she's like not hearing me. The whole time just yelling, mom, mom, mom. I'm like, I can't move. And she just sitting there on the computer doing her work, doing whatever she was doing. I'm just sitting there like, yo, am I bugging? Like, why can't she hear me? So then it's like, I looked back and the figure was gone. And once the figure left, I could move again. And I'm like, Mom, you ain't hear me calling. She looked at me like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I was sitting here calling your name, asking what you were doing the whole time. She was like, you won't say nothing. I was like, I was looking dead at you the whole time. Yeah. She was like, you never said. I was like, I did. I was like, for some reason, I couldn't move and couldn't speak. And at first she thought she was like, something wrong. So I was like, no. I was like, Mom, I couldn't move. I was like, I literally watched you walk in the room and get on the computer. And I said, Mom, what you doing? She was like, no. I was like, the words were not coming out. I was saying it. Yeah. I could hear myself saying it. Like I was talking to somebody, but she wasn't responding. So it's like that, whatever that shadowy figure was just sitting on my back and wasn't allowing me to talk, do anything. It was like one of the creepiest moments of my life. Besides some ghost shit I done seen, but I should have started with that. But that's a good story though.
Oh, we can segue into that for sure.
But that's definitely a good story. But that was the first time I ever had that happen to me. I was just like, yo, what was that?
Yo,
and I couldn't explain it.
That's one thing I didn't, add into the fact is that you're screaming out for help. Like you can hear yourself like very, very loudly, but like you said. It's like nothing is coming at dude.
It's like you mute to other people, but the whole time you talking and saying stuff.
And as you're doing that, right, this thing or multiple things are like just invading your space and trying to, like I said, install that fear, and also, man, like like it's a tormenting type of thing, dude. Like, I mean,
something like that is kind of creepy to see a black shadowy figure over you or come in your room or in your presence, period, messing with your aura, because that's a whole dark aura.
yeah.
And then, you know, messing with your light aura is like it was trying to overpower, but you got to be a fighter to make sure you don't let it conquer you. But it was like, that's something I say people should experience to get it out the way, even though it's a scary and creepy thing. But I feel like some people should experience that just because you can tell a story like that and people will be like, you lying. And they think it's like, you talking a bunch of BS or you exact. It's like, nah, you was just on something or you was just tripping. No, if I can remember this and tell you what happened, this is real. Can't nobody else explain this.
Exactly, man. Now that is so true. Man,
I feel like, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you good.
But I feel like I have never had that experience or whatever. But I've had experiences where like it's even like when I told our dad, it's a per se like it's when I'm awake rather than like the sleep paralysis because it's like one day I was sitting there like I was asleep, but yeah. I don't know. But it was like I was asleep, but I woke up, but I was dreaming about albino people, right? And then like I woke up and I was like, why was I dreaming about albino people? So then I was like, let me just tell Lauren just so she knows, just so I put it out there for reference. And I was like, hey, I was dreaming about albino people. And she was like, man, whatever. I was like, all right. I said, at least I told somebody, you know? So then that same morning, I was driving to work. White deer ran across my truck.
Dang.
Same morning. So then another time was when I went and met one of my boys up in town, Mike, and he was working at the post office. I just wanted to go holler at him or whatever. And we was just sitting there. He called me. Y'all noticed my number. He called me at 11:11, right? Yeah. And he was like, yo, where you at? So then we met up and I was like, you see what time you just called me? He was like, yeah. And I was like, all right, cool. Cause that's his, like that he affiliated with that number too. We sitting there talking, right? This is the thing that gets me speculative of how things in the universe works because we sitting there talking. I don't care whose it was, where it came from. A solid white rabbit came from under his mail truck and sat in between both of us.
I was telling y'all something.
Like came and sat in between both. Look, and it's like who has a solid white rabbit?
Right.
And it's like we just sit, me and him just like, and when I tell you, me and him looked, and it was just like sitting like right over here between us, and we just like looked like that, and we looked at each other, and we was like, yo. Then it left, and then we was sitting there talking. It came back and sat there again. I kid you not.
The odds of that, yours.
And I was telling somebody another thing to elaborate on that. I was telling somebody about that story. I was over there on Barracks Road. Telling them about the albino story and the white rabbit story. As soon as I got done, it was an albino dude walking inside the tobacco hut.
I would have sprinted somewhere. I'm out.
Yo,
what's going on?
And when I tell y'all that this happens to me like all the time, it is like it's like the weirdest thing ever, and it just like happens, and I can't tell people because then, like y'all said, somebody be like, "Nah, man." But I keep these like mental stories in my mind, and it's like something that like will last forever.
True that, man.
That's crazy to go from dreaming about albino stuff
into actually seeing it.
I'm telling you, man, and it just I don't know, you know, I looked online to see what it meant and stuff like that, but just to like tie it together for it to happen like 3 times like that repetitively, like within like within a couple months or something like that.
Oh snap!
It's just like crazy. It's super crazy.
Maybe that's the universe was talking to y'all. Universe was talking to y'all.
Somebody was talking.
Yeah, like I mean, you had the dreams, but then it's like. Your number is 1111. Then he called you 1111. Like universe was telling y'all something.
Yeah. Well, it keeps on happening. I don't know if it happens on like somebody else's behalf or anything like that.
Yeah.
That I encounter, but it just like keeps happening to me, and because like y'all know that road on y'all know Rye Road, right? That little
Yeah.
curvy
Yeah.
road that
Yeah.
go back there where they got that body shop down at the bottom of the hill.
Oh yeah.
I was driving my Honda, and you know we used to have them lowered and stuff back in the day.
Mhm.
And I was at the top of that hill. I was leaving Josh Yates' house, and it was raining outside, and I was driving slow, and literally my car started spinning out at the top of that hill,
Oh,
that curvy part.
shoot.
Yeah.
When I tell you, I was spinning, I was like, "Oh man, I ain't paying for this." but my car was like spinning. And that was like the only thing that was on my mind. Yo, halfway down that where it's got that one part where you can do it to the left and go towards Pan Tops right there.
Yeah.
That back way.
Yeah.
My car stopped right there in the middle of the road on the other side of the road, and I drove all the way back up and drove back down slowly.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah,
Tell you, man.
I know I switched the subject, but y'all keep
No,
going.
you
no,
good,
you
man.
good.
No, that's. I mean, it's
That
still
was that was
dream.
weird. Yeah,
it's like a
that whole dream you
state.
had.
Yeah. I mean, you know, when you started talking about like these dreams, man, like I'm a firm believer, man, that God speaks to us through dreams, man. If you know, not to, you know, be religious and, you know, get into the Bible, man, but like, you know, throughout the Bible, man, you know, you see stories of folks who, you know, God reaches and touches and he speaks to them through dreams, man. And I just find it fascinating, man, that, you know, many people to this day is still having these type of, you know, prophetic, some of them are prophetic, you know, things that are going to be, you know, seen in the future, but like, you know, he also gives us visions as well. And so, you know, hearing these stories, man, between, you know, someone who, you know, experienced sleep paralysis or has experienced these type of things, man, is very interesting to me. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I put that out there, because I love to hear people's story. I love to hear what people's, you know, background is, and, you know, especially when it's a subject that I've experienced myself, because that way, you know, it's a conversation starter, you know, it's a, you know, relationship builder as well. It's like, yo, you identify to that, I identify to that, you know. But you know, if we want to get back into this sleep paralysis thing, hey, like I'm telling you, let me tell you this other time, man, and this is where you know, it really freaked me out because don't remember exactly where I was at the time, but I'm pretty sure I was living with my mother, and I was, you know, going to sleep. And the other night, and I was asleep in the bed, and like, it's funny because like it's dark in the room as you're like in this state, but like there's enough light to where you can kind of, you know, your eyes can adjust to like that little bit of lighting, and like as I open my eyes up within this dream, I'm realizing like the TV's on, the lights on, you know, on the side, but like it's still kind of dark. And so like I tried to get up to turn it on, to turn it off. Turn it off. Nope. Can't move. You know, and within that moment, instantly I knew what was up, dude. And like the door started cracking open and making that little screeching sound like that. And it's like I'm embracing what's about. Like I don't know what's about to come through that door, but like I knew it wasn't good.
All you can do is embrace
right. It's just like
what's about to happen.
It's like you can't close your eyes. He's like, no, I can't what? No, your eyes is like, you know what I'm saying, just wide open, and like the door cracked open kind of slowly, and all of a sudden this dark figure just came flying through it, dude, and it like pushed me off the bed. So that was a point where I knew like I could move, but I couldn't move myself. It moved me. So as it pushed me off the bed, I remember like to where I landed on the ground, and like I, you know, braced my impact on the fall, and I looked up, and it was this dark figure, you know, just right in front of me, and it said these words, no joke. And you know, sometimes I'll be thinking about like, yo, I talked to somebody about that on the post who would tell me his very similar experience. It said, we are the ones that dwell within. And it kept repeating itself. We are the ones that dwell within. Again, no facial features, you know, just the, you know, an outline with darkness. And it kept saying, we are the ones that dwell within. And as it said that, dude, like, one of the guys, you know, who was on that post was talking about how, you know, uh, there's a spirit which is called legion, and basically it's like multiple spirits that, you know, tries to bring torment. And that, I believe that's exactly what that was, man. You know, ultimately, man, when we talk about these things, you know, spiritual warfare, man, I truly believe is real. You know, there are
Yeah.
things that are happening, you know, beyond our human capability, you know, with our natural, you know, ability, uh, all around us. And so, like, you know, when I kept hearing that dude, like everything was just like melting on the inside of me, man. It's like, man, I don't know what to do. I'm in fear. But like this image, man, like I said, it leaves just this, you know, scary feeling, man. Like on the inside, it's like, yo, why does this keep happening to me? You know, and and from that, of course, that time, you know, I was still a little bit younger. But you know, it always just, you know, kept being in the back of my mind. It's like, all right, you know, as I woke up, all right, it wasn't quite real, you know, just a dream. But like you still know deep down, it's like, yo, that felt super real, man. Like, what does this mean? Uh, why am I experiencing this type of thing? So
Yeah.
yeah, man, that's
crazy.
another one.
Did our dad tell you about that story that happened to him?
What? Which one?
So I think he said when he was little, I think he said he had it was like a situation like what y'all talking about. He said he got real sick, like super sick. And he said he was up at, you remember that house that was like close to the end of the road back there where his mom lived at?
Yeah,
And he said he was up there and he said he was laying there and he said he heard the door creak open. And then he said all of a sudden, like this like figure just like rolled up in the room. He said it looked like it was like he you know, he said it looked like it was hooded, but he said he couldn't distinguish like what it was or whatever. He said he couldn't move. He said he couldn't get up or nothing like that. And all of a sudden he said it like looked at him and leaned over. And then he said it just like turned around, started walking out. You know how our dad is. He was just like trying to move. And he said as soon as he got halfway down the hallway in that house, he said he could get up. And he said he bolted out the house. He said he bolted out the house. And you know how that driveway go? And then they go to the right. He said it went up to the end of the driveway and took a right. And he said he was outside in his boxers. And then he said it just disappeared.
Yo.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah, he told me about that.
He never tell me that, but that's crazy. I definitely gotta ask him about that.
Yeah.
That's some creepy stuff. I got a story. I was like 16. And at the time, you know, high school. So at the time, you know, my friends always went to parties every weekend.
Oh yeah.
Every weekend. So 16, first of all, I ain't even supposed to be drinking. So around this time, nobody was really driving. Everybody was so young. So, you know, we rather have fun. We worried about kid stuff. Was drunk coming home from a party one night. I'll never forget this. Everybody, you know, went they separate ways to go home because we all lived in the same neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I go to open the door. Like it took me a little minute because I was drunk to get the keys in the lock. So when I opened the door, I look straight back in my room and all I could see is this big black shadowy figure sitting at the computer desk. And the whole time I'm thinking I'm tripping. So I'm like, is this something sitting right there? Next day, you know, all I know, the joint just turned his head and just looks back at me. And I'm looking like,
run, Forrest, run.
All I did was, it was like, it looked back at me and turned his head straight back. So all I could do was shut the door so fast because it scared the shit out of me. I'm thinking somebody sitting in my chair fucking with me. So my mom was asleep and the peak of me shutting the door, I woke her up because like it slammed. So she woke up and she knew I was out. So she was like, she maybe thought somebody fell into the door. Nah, I had shut the door. So when I opened the door back up, right before she come out of her room, the whole shadowy figure just disappears. The crazy part is when I left the house and every night we went to bed, we always cut the computer off. No lie, the computer was on the whole time after the figure left. So I'm thinking somebody came to the crib. She let somebody, like a little cousin or something, stay. Nah, the
Yeah.
whole time, won't nobody in my room. So I'm like, Mom, was you just? She was like, boy, you know, I just got out the bed. You slammed the door, waking me up. I'm like, my bad, but somebody was just in my room. Ain't nobody been here. Ain't nobody in your room. No, I just seen some black shadowy figure sitting in the computer chair the whole time. And it just turned his head and looked at me and turned back. Like it was just sitting on the computer. I was like, and it just messed me up. I was like, yo, what's that? So for a little bit, that was like, I thought I was tripping, so I stopped drinking for a little bit.
But look though, that was like in the natural. You wouldn't sleep. Like
Nah, I was awake.
You was awake. All right. So look, that's a good way to kind of lean into
spirits and ghosts and shit too.
Right. I mean, like I still get, we can intertwine whichever.
Well, hold on. That building over there is it
what, Prospect?
Yeah,
they was built over a graveyard.
And that building number is 722.
Yeah,
that's my birthday.
I know.
Yo,
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yo,
nuts.
I lived in Orangedale forever, dude. So I didn't know there used to be a graveyard right there, right? So Orangedale too, or is it just more so Prospect?
It's just, so not the top of Prospect, but like inside, like what apartment that was built over a graveyard.
Gotcha.
So like, and my mom, like she always told me that, but I'm not thinking, like I'm about to actually see something.
Yeah.
To come home from a party late at night and to open the door and see a black shadowy figure just sitting in a computer, it looked like a normal person sitting there.
Yeah.
To even look at that and see what was going on, I was like, yo, am I this drunk that I'm seeing shit?
Right.
But the whole time I wasn't. Like, I shut the door and when I opened that door back, nothing was there. And I was like, yo, that was like another crazy experience. But I wasn't asleep. I was awake when I seen this.
All right, now check this out. Look, when you talk about being awake, right?
All right.
So I was at work. I was working for this government contract company, and I was living with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to the house. I was on a lunch break, and nobody was home. It was just definitely just me. You know what I'm saying? Mom was at work, brothers was wherever. And my older brother, he had this moped. So like anytime he was home, that junk was sitting in the front yard. So I'm like, all right, nobody home. Go in the room, you know what I'm saying? Go use the bathroom. But I fixed me a little snack, a little something. But I was still waiting in the bathroom and I heard a door open. You know what I'm saying? Open. She shut the door. Walked down the hall, right? Inside the house. Open doors. Shut the door. I'm like, all right, my brother home. I'm gonna go holler at him in just a minute. Wash my hands. And then I ain't hear nothing. I was like, AJ, my older brother name is AJ. I was like, AJ, and he ain't say nothing. I was like, man, this man tripped. I know he walked in his house. So I get out, go out of my room, open the door, broad daylight, what I'm saying? During lunchtime, open the door, look down the hall. AJ, I know I heard this sucker. I'm thinking he playing games. So I walked outside, see if his moped was there. Not a soul. Went back inside. I said, AJ, I wasn't tripping. Like, yo, somebody opened the door, closed it, walked down the hall, opened up his door, closed it.
Yeah.
And as I went back in the house, bro, I had these goosebumps all over my arms. My hairs was starting to raise up. It felt like, yo, whatever came in, at that moment, it was there to make a statement. It was there for,
a reason.
And dude, I was like shook, man. I'm like, yo, I know I heard somebody came into this house. Ain't no way you gonna tell me otherwise. Like, yo, this is crazy. Again, I'm awake, I'm aware, I'm on my lunch break. I'm trying to, enjoy my little lunch. And somebody walking inside the crib, and ain't nobody in there, bro. I'm telling you, man, that stuff is crazy.
Yeah, because when one time, down at the apartments that BB&T Bank at down in Palmyra, where Terrell and DW used to live at. So that house on that road with me and you wrecked at?
Yeah.
That's another story.
Oh, hey, look. That
wrecked.
bike, we was on bikes as kids.
Oh, okay.
We can go into that too.
Yeah, that's another story.
With that little house, so it's the weirdest house, Chad.
That little
like
creepy
literally,
one?
Yeah, that one that was like right in front of Terrell mom's apartment. And it's like literally, the house is made for somebody that's 5'10".
Yeah.
So when you go in there, you got to duck a little bit.
Oh, shoot.
But these people lived in there and they, they were cool or whatever. But as soon as they moved out. We was like, hey, let's just go in there and check it out or whatever.
Yeah.
So then we went over there, and you know, like when you get that vibe about something, like I was sitting there standing at the front door. They always said to me, they was like, man, what you scared of? But I'm like, man, I got a pretty good intuition. And I'm like, dog, it ain't me being scared. I'm like, something up with this place, right?
Yeah.
So then we open the door and we go up in there. So we walk. The crazy part about this is like we sitting there just walking around, looking in there, just, you know, people just moved out and stuff like that, who were moving to a house that only a 5'10" person walking, you know. But so we get all the way to the back. I kid y'all not, and I still can remember this sound to this day. It sounded like somebody like flat knuckle punched like a steel wall.
Ooh.
Oh,
While we
shoot.
was in there. It was so loud. It was like it was like it just was so loud when I tell you. And it's like for us and for me to think about it as I'm older now, because I think I was probably like 18 when it happened or something like that. Nothing in that house it was summertime. Nothing was cold. A pipe couldn't have burst, or and the house probably didn't even have pipes. It probably didn't even have like something like crazy system. And like when I tell you, it shook the house.
Oh,
in the room next door to us, while we was at, because it had that little back section, right? It was like a little section where the refrigerator was at. Yo, when I tell you, man, to this day, it was like boom, and we
took off.
So you felt the house shake too.
We felt the house shake.
So to me, that was basically a presence telling y'all get up out my house.
Oh yeah, we knew it, but I go back because he ain't put no fear in my heart. Like, you got me when I was young, but you know, I might elbow drop you now. But that, I'm telling y'all, man, like people, there's tons of people out there that experience this stuff, and they don't want to talk about it because people gonna be like, oh man, you stressed.
That's the thing, man.
But I'm telling you, like, yo. Crazy.
I've experienced stuff being in the crib, like when I was younger, living with my mom, just being in the crib, you know, chilling, playing, and something might just happen. And my mom would be like, oh, it's just probably like a dead family member you never met, or something like no, first of all, I'm a kid. Don't tell me nothing like this.
Yo, you watching me?
Like who is going, why they, but I do know they say sometimes that's how spirits talk to you by doing certain things, or like you can prove and point the picture I showed you. Bruh, to take a picture and to see somebody behind you, and I mean, I knew it wasn't nothing bad because I didn't have that feeling like it was a bad presence. I knew it was somebody I knew, something good.
Yeah.
So to know that you can do certain stuff or be somewhere and spirits will talk to you. So, all right, from the sleep paralysis, now we're going to get into the spirit shit.
All right.
Let me grab something real quick.
So,
y'all can keep talking.
All right.
When, I'll never forget, I was 5. It was a little after me and my mom moved to Prospect from around the corner where For Sale Park is.
Yeah.
I'll never forget this. I was watching The Simpsons and Hercules on TV. Hercules went on commercial, so I turned it to Simpsons. So my mom was like, come get your food and your drink. So I went to grab my drink. And that time as a kid, I used to always fill my drinks up to the rim. So one little wrong move is spilling. So I'm walking back carefully to the room, set it down.
Yo.
So my mom like, come get your spaghetti. I'm like, all right, I'm coming. No lie. I got my spaghetti, came back in the room. Simpsons was turned to Hercules, and my drink was halfway drunken.
Oh.
But as I looked, I'm looking. You didn't see no lip prints, no nothing. Like, it was filled to the top. Take this bottle for a second.
Yeah.
It was filled all the way up here.
Yeah.
My drink was down to like right here. Like somebody had took a nice, decent drink out of it. So I'm like, Mom, you drink my drink? She like, how am I drink your drink if I just fix your bowl of spaghetti? I'm like, well, I was watching TV and the channel changed and my drink drunker. And the first thing she literally said was, that was probably just your granddad talking to you. Huh? And I never got to meet him. So I didn't know what he looked like, none of that.
Yeah.
My mom was like, yeah, that's probably just your granddad. He was probably thirsty and wanted to watch that. He probably been back there watching TV with you the whole time.
Yeah.
What 5-year-old do you tell this to?
Yeah.
And it's like, what do you mean? Like, I don't even know this man. What do you mean he was watching TV with me? I never got to see him. How do I know what he looked like? But he know who I was though.
Yeah.
And it was like that was so creepy.
Yeah.
To have your drink drunk and you were watching something to come back and the remote was sitting in the same spot I had left it. In the middle of the table, and I had this little you remember that little small blue table I had as a kid? It was white with the blue legs, it was plastic.
Yeah.
It was that table. Sitting in the dead in the middle. So the remote right here, food right here, every time.
Yeah.
But that day, it was just like remote sitting right there. It was Hercules was on commercial, Simpsons on. So I'm going back trying to come back and catch before the Simpsons went on commercial so I could switch it back. Nah, it was already switched to Hercules and it just messed me up. So I'm thinking my mom did it, but it's like she right there. Who the hell did this? And she was just, all she could say was, it was your granddad. I was like, man, that's creepy. As a kid.
Yeah.
That's very creepy.
To know that type of detail, at the age of 5, dude. Like, you remember those details for a reason, man. And,
exactly.
and it lasts, up to this point to where you can go back
and
like recount those like minute details at that time, but it all adds up to that one experience. It's like, yo, I know I had this young filled to the brim, but yet here it is, down below. Like, how did that happen?
And I didn't even touch the drink. So it was like, set the drink down, run back and get your food. Came back, was like, whoa, what happened to my drink? Why did TV turn like that? I've experienced some ghostly stuff. Well, I can't say ghostly, but spiritual stuff. And it as a kid, you don't know how to process and handle it.
Yeah.
But as you get older and start understanding things, then you can process it better. And 9 times out of 10, it's either a good spirit or a bad spirit trying to talk to you. And I'd rather have the good spirits come talk to me.
Yeah. Man. Because you don't want nothing lurking in the shadows. And, and I believe, I think long as you put out, but it's almost like this thing where the opposite attracts to you, whether it's the devil or the bad energy or whatever the case may be. It's like the more good you do, is the more they try to devour you on any type of plane.
Yeah.
And like you were saying earlier, I don't really think people understand the physics of human beings, because I always think of it like this: if you could take us and put us under a huge microscope, you'll see how transparent we are. And then it's things like music, it's things like energy, it's things like spirits, it's things like that. It's something that our molecular structure can't tap into, because I can't explain it. But I think about it all the time and stuff like that. But it's like if you look down at the cellular level of the cells in the human body, and then you look at the universe, or you look at just how they've constructed the way like galaxies and stuff like come around each other. It's almost like identical, and it's a lot going on. And it's just like people walking around here. I think it's like they make those zombie movies for a reason.
Yeah.
Because it's real. Even though people ain't walking around here like, but it's literally people walking around here aimlessly living life. And not even paying attention to the essence of the things around them, because I'm just like, it's so much deep. It's like this table right here, man. You know how many atoms are making up this table right here?
Right, yep.
And it's like, if you don't get the significance of that, then, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
But it's
a movie
just,
aspect you were saying, I feel like they reverse stuff to mess with people's minds.
All the time.
So to me,
like aliens.
We gonna get into that. It's like zombie movies and stuff. I feel like the zombies are actually the good people and we're the bad people. It's just
I haven't thought about that.
they're putting it in our face as the zombies will be the bad people
Mhm.
and we're the good guys. But for some odd reason, I just get this feeling like it's reverse psychology that they using to put
Mhm.
fear into people.
Yeah.
Because you like we all know movies ain't real,
Yeah.
but you literally have people who are scared to even look at a scary movie. Why though? Like
Mhm.
if you know these is people in makeup and
My
these,
dad broke me out of that.
yeah, he definitely broke us both out of it. Like you see it, we know these people wearing makeup. It's scenes they're going through. Like we know this, but why are people still afraid to even look at a scary movie when you know it's not even real?
Mhm.
And I never understood that. And I have friends to this day who was like, that's why, like, when we used to have like movie nights and stuff at my mom's crib, some of us was definitely down to watch some scary shit.
Yeah.
But, you know, other people wasn't. It's just, and I always ask, like, why don't you like scary movies?
Yeah.
And it was hard for them to explain, but it's like, yo, they're in makeup.
Yeah.
And like he was saying, like our dad broke that down to us when we was kids.
He was like, somebody got to record the movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, I never thought of it like that.
Yeah.
It
But
makes
some
sense, like,
movies are based off of
true
events
events,
and
yeah.
things like that. But
Amityville Horror, that type of movie.
yeah,
You know, when you read about that,
man,
what happened in that house.
yo,
Yeah.
what happened?
Oh, you don't know? Like, so
Well, I never really like dove into it to like, you know, but
so you know,
I
the
know it's still
movie-
on the same topic of what
movies
we're talking about.
based on true story. You know, they try to dive deep into
Yeah.
it, but basically, it was about a dad who, basically, a demon spirit took over his body,
Hmm.
and he ended up killing the whole family.
Yeah.
So you know, and people thought that like he just went crazy,
Yeah.
and the whole time he never, like, a demon actually took his body over.
Yeah. Possession
and
is real.
possessed
Man.
him,
Yeah.
and he ended up killing his family. So when they made the Amityville Horror, now I like certain movies when they remake it, but the one was like 2000, between 2003 and 5.
Mhm.
Dang, I can't think of his name. Ryan Reynolds, the
Okay.
one that played Deadpool.
Oh yeah, true.
He did the first remake of it,
Yeah,
and they kind of dove into the story, the backstory of what really happened in the house.
Gotcha.
Like a demon actually possessed the dad and took
Yeah.
his body over.
Yeah.
And in the movie, it almost got him, but it didn't.
Yeah.
But they did like a little backstory. It was like, yo, I don't care. Demons, spirits, all that stuff is real.
Yeah, man.
Like they don't make these exorcist movies just because people. These movies based on true stories. People have to really experience this stuff.
Yeah.
In order to put this out there to tell
Yeah.
a story like that.
Yeah, there's some good writers out there who
Yeah.
can, you know, produce, you know, the greatest films. You know, yeah, they'll put a little touch of Hollywood on it, but like a lot of these stories are driven by real life experiences, man.
Mhm.
And yeah, when you hear about those type of things, bro, it's just like
A movie
Oof.
that messed me up as a kid, but I don't care. I still want to go to the house. It's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre house. I
Oh,
really
yeah,
want to
The
go to
chick
Texas.
Megan, we went to high school. Well, I went to high school with. She was from out there, and I was like, "Is it real?" And she was like, "Yes."
Yeah, like it was
It was
a
a
real,
it's
yeah.
called
Like a-
Leatherface. That man really
And
you
like
take people's face and
they cut them
She
off.
literally
like
went to
that
the high
family.
school, like within the county of where that stuff was happening at.
And
wicked.
the house now, it has security cameras, is blocked off in there, and I think there's a sign that says like if you cross this, like you will be shot. Like they have that house protected. Like, and it's the actual house that they shot the movie at.
Oh,
Like
wow.
when they start doing those remakes. Yeah.
So the dude did. I'm assuming.
I guess because that was a long time ago.
Yeah, I thought. Well, I can't remember all the way, but like you know,
The real Leatherface should be
Leatherface.
dead.
Yeah.
If not, he should be dead.
Because that part on that movie when the cop was down there on the little thing.
Yo, I'm just thinking about that, son.
Was that a real?
Yo, I feel
What
as
part?
though that was.
You remember that part?
that was at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Whenever the show the sheriff kind of getting the
Talking. Remember he was
document.
on the.
Oh yeah, the very end.
And
That
at
was
the
that
end-
real footage?
Yeah.
That junk, all you hear was like the
And when they
agonizing
turn it
scream.
around, you can
You can see the face.
His face.
Yo.
Like, nah, that was real footage.
I
Because you
think-
got to remember back then, nothing was in color. Everything was black and white.
Yeah.
But they could have, you know.
Yeah.
But the way that footage looked,
I feel like it was real.
that was real.
Yeah.
That like you can also it's easier now to pick out what's real footage and what's fake.
The Blair Witch is fake.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Don't even go there. That movie is so fake.
No, the movie was fake, but the
scared
story
the living daylights out of me for years.
Yeah,
And come to find out it was
fake.
Foolish. Yeah.
Like the
situation might, I don't know.
The situation might be real, but their story and how they did it was fake.
Yeah. The whole project in itself, man, was just like a, you know.
She crashed.
What movie made fun of it?
Scary Movie.
Yo, they wrong for that one.
Man, look, scary, like, yo.
But look, this is what I was going to say to kind of, tie into the whole, you talking about, the anatomy of a human being and whatnot. But like, honestly, guys, like, I truly believe that we are spiritual beings living in a human
body.
Oh yeah. Me too.
We in the Matrix.
That's all we're because, once this is gone, we're off into another realm.
Our spirit goes somewhere else.
Yeah.
And these all experiences, man, I feel like there's just, an ability within ourselves where we can, see just a glimpse, not the whole thing, because I think our hearts and our minds will not be able to perceive what's really happening in the supernatural. And so like, I feel as though like through these dreams of, sleep paralysis, or even like the physical awareness of like these entities or whatever that's, crossing your path, like I think you're able to experience it for a reason, not by mistake, whether it's to, steer us in one direction or the other, but like we experience these things for a reason. Everybody has a different purpose, different, destiny, man. But, when we all can agree on this type of experience, bro, it's like, wait a minute. What does this mean? And,
I feel
where
like
do we go from here?
Have y'all ever seen the movie Inception?
Yeah.
With Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yep.
Yo, that movie, that's how I feel like we are.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Have you ever seen it?
Yeah, I think so.
Like where it was like they were.
I'm thinking of Interstellar.
Yeah, you think?
No, I've seen Inception too. Though.
Where it was like they was in it was like a dream state of them, but their body was. I don't know how to put it. Like the movie was, it was weird,
it was
but
dope.
How they perceive like our spirits and shit. That's how I feel like we are in that movie, or like the Matrix, even. Like
that's
how Neo went, like the world Neo really went into that. Like I feel like that's the real world.
Yeah, there's so much symbology in that whole deal, man.
Yeah, so like what we're dealing with is like. Our body is just being used until our spirit is ready to go or whatever. Or when people pass, when they go, I feel like their spirit moves on to somewhere else, or it goes somewhere where people will always remember them. But it's like somebody passed, their spirit is watching over them as they die. Because I done heard people say, where people that have been brought back to life and they've seen their self, they're like looking at
the
their
outer body experience.
Yeah, the outer body experience. I feel like that's just our spirit saying like this vessel that is using is up. It's time to leave. It's time to go to another vessel to move on. The name of the person might change, but it's still the same person.
But do you know how repetitive this thing is? I eat a shrimp. Shrimp goes in me. I spit, do whatever. And that shrimp, that birthed that shrimp, came from another shrimp. And then it's just like when that happens, my feces or whatever, my DNA is rubbed off on this. This gets thrown into a pile of something. This gets broken down into something. This gets put into a product that makes this water bottle. Yep. The textural stuff off this water bottle, leave it outside, I'm gonna go drink it. It gets in this water, comes back in me. But then it's just like I go in the ground, bugs eat me, bird eat me, and it's just a cycle. The sun blows, the sun is gonna burn this planet up one day, then the sun gonna explode. all those atoms that are part of the dissipation of this earth that explodes out into the universe gets dispersed. And this is my theory behind a black hole. I said, and I don't know if there's a way for them to evaluate how much light is emitted back out of our eyes. But what if a black hole isn't something that takes it just takes it in and shoots it back out in smaller particles? And I was thinking about that the other day, and I was like, "What a black hole is just like our eyes. We take in light, and then it projects it back out." And I'm like, I wonder if there's some kind of scientific thing to measure that. But I'm like, what if a black hole is just the transmission of light going in and coming back out in smaller particles to create these smaller atoms? And I think that's why I don't really think the universe is expanding in the way they say it is. I think solar systems have mass or whatever, some kind of dark energy, what they call it, around them, and it's just they just pushing apart like that because that massive black hole in the middle of every solar system is emitting, it's taking in, putting back, taking in, putting. It's almost like how we consume food and. Or whatever, and spit the waste out or whatever, and it just keeps it just a cycle.
Yeah, just like when we consume knowledge, we consuming it in and spitting it back out to people to either gain knowledge or get knowledge from other people. So hey, that do make sense.
I'll just be thinking sometimes, man. I don't pay attention.
You want a deep thought,
but that's good. That's deep thinking. That's good thinking.
Yeah. So I'm always in here. It's even like when me and Chad be talking about aliens, and I'm like, do we have, what's that movie, Prometheus?
Prometheus.
I'm like, do we have architects? And it's like, I know in my heart, I'm like, there is a true essence of a God that constructed everything.
Yeah,
but then when these smart people out there like putting out that movie Prometheus, I'm like, and then the way we act is almost like something genetically is missing. You know, like far as wise, like that primitive mindset that we never get rid of.
Yeah.
And won't allow us to advance. And I'm like, did somebody just leave us here to be like, these dumb motherfuckers better get it right, you know? And it's but they know how to tap into a third dimension or fourth dimension where our spirits come from, but we'll never know that.
Exactly, because we can't tap into that other half of our brain. What they say we have, what we can use up to what percentage of our brain?
Like 10%?
Yeah, it's like 10%. So
low.
Just imagine based off what's the movie called? Limitless, and it's the other one with the shorty that played Black Widow.
Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, when she took that, they put them drugs in it, but it bust open, so it opened 100% of her brain.
You talking about Alien?
No, bro.
What are you talking about?
With the movie? I can't think of the name of it. Yeah, Scarlett Johansson's in it.
Yeah, Scarlett. Yeah.
So basically, whatever the drug was opening up more percentage of our brain. But they had stuck the drugs in her to like traffic, and one of the bags bust. And when it bust open, she became like super strong. Like her hearing was 100%. It's like she could see everything happen before it happened.
Yeah, she can see everything to the point of like in atoms. And,
you know, like when it was raining, like she was looking at the atoms of the raindrop and taking the rain and like messing with it. Like it opened up 100% of her brain.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
And that joint was crazy. It was like, it's an action movie, but like what they did and showed to me is proving that like they don't want us to have this full 100%. Because if people did, you never know. Well, you got your good people who would use it for the right things. Then you got your people who's like, shit, I got this much power, my brain that I can use 100%. Yeah. I'm about to fuck some shit up. And then like you'll have people. So then it's like a war.
Yeah. Oh, right.
So it's a war between good and bad, like everything. So then it's gonna be something crazy. But the whole, I don't care. Aliens real.
Yo.
They've been here.
Check this out.
This is the alien man.
Nah, look.
Yo, all right, before you start, how many more days we got until they gotta they gotta release it to the world?
They report.
At least like, you know, less than 130.
You can tell, 130 you know
days.
what we talking about?
Mm-mm. Break it down to me.
So within that, the COVID relief bill that got passed, where everybody, got a second stimulus check, somewhere down the lines in the 5,000 plus pages, man, they threw in basically not necessarily a threat, but somewhere, they worded it to where they told the government, you got 180 days to release, a full disclosure on alien technology, alien
About
life.
this.
And this hit a lot of major news outlets, and a lot of the people who's behind this whole project, man, has been pushing for years for government, elective officials, ex-military. I mean, a lot of these guys are grouped together, and they're like basically about to blow the cover off of what's been happening over these last 70 years, at least on American soil.
Yeah.
Basically, we talk about Area 51, when you talk about, all these different things, man, from the sightings and abductions of, people. Like,
I believe people got abducted and seen this stuff. Yeah.
Check this out, bro.
That's my man right there.
Like one guy I was listening to, man, on his podcast, but like he put it like this, and he's, been in military for X amount of years. He has nothing to lie about. I mean, this man, is, just as plain as we're talking right now, that this man was just kicking the real, to the audience. But like, he's basically talking about how there is so much evidence, so much, not just the documents, but video footage that they cannot release. No eyes have laid upon these, different footages to the people, and that's the stuff that they're trying to push to get released to the American people, because they think is well within our rights to have access and to know. So here recently, since the whole 180 day release of this whole information they've been talking about, a couple of weeks ago, this other private company has gotten documents from what is it, the I can't think of the thing, man. Drawing a blank. What is it? Well, let me say this. Last year, did you hear what happened last year between the Pentagon and all right?
I'm not really I tune in, but I'm not really into like the government type, because I know so much fucked up shit. So
it's a lot of wicked
and
stuff,
it's a lot of wicked stuff, and then they lie a lot to us too.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. But like last year, man, like the Pentagon, like right, released 3 videos and said, okay, like I said, these are the same people who's been trying to push them in that direction. So all right, we want a full disclosure. We don't want just a little bit here, a little bit there. Over time, like we want you to do the whole shebang. But the Pentagon, right here, DC has released 3 video footages from, an F-18 fighter jet, right? These are military pilots who were, on video capturing this object that they were chasing literally over 1,000 plus miles per hour, in the sky, like near this ocean, trying to, get it within their frame as this thing is balling. And finally, the F-18 was able to lock its focus on this object. And you can hear the excitement from these, military guys. Hey, we got it. Look at him, man. He's balling. But, he just goes on this rant about like, yeah, it was hard to catch it. And like, you can see in the video, man, how they're locked in on it. You can't really make it. It's just like an orb of light, man. It's just like glowing. And it's like I said, it's balling across the ocean, like on the top of the ocean. So here's the ocean, and this thing is like just scooting along. And this F-18, right? This, one of our best things that we have can't keep up with this thing. It's like, yo, wait a minute. Like, what's out there that exists that, our current technology, we look at America as like, outside of Russia to be like, don't mess with us. And we can't even keep up with this thing in the field of view when this thing is, being chased. And there's 3 videos that was released, man. And there's a bunch of other documents that they basically released, talking about the sightings. And, there's a project called
Was it Blue?
Project Blue Book. I believe. And a lot of information that they release. But honestly, when you look at those documents, I read a few pages. They make it very hard for you to understand what they're talking about, and it's on purpose.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, yeah, sure, we'll release the documents, but they're going to release enough to where, you know, you can't really understand what they're talking about. A lot of code, a lot of different, you know, stuff that we just wouldn't be able to understand.
Yeah. It's like when they show movies that have dealing with aliens and stuff, it's like, oh, we can't understand this, their techno. Yeah, of course we're not gonna understand their language, but I guarantee they definitely are watching us, looking at us like, look at these dumb ass motherfuckers. we planted shit here for y'all to do right, and then y'all just fuck it up.
Man, I
don't care. Phone technology, all that shit comes from aliens, bro.
But look, like, think about in the last 100 years, man, and how we just had this huge leap. Like,
of what? Technology and stuff?
Yeah.
Compared to what we went through as kids?
Past like 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
From what we dealt with is we had house phones and stuff.
Yeah.
Then boom, the cell phones pop out.
Yeah.
And then now it's like you got laptops, computers, all this stuff, all this technology is really rolling. Yeah. And everything went from like had to be connected to a cord. Now everything is wireless.
And we got 5G and all this different, you know, stuff. But dude, like I'm gonna be kind of watching to see, you know, what happens and how they try to release this thing. You know, this year, because like I said, you know, I don't know what's going to happen once that 180 day gap is closed. I don't know what they're going to do.
And then I feel like they break it off, putting out stuff here and there because some people know how to handle it, some don't. So some people are going to be able to handle this like, well, I knew this, you know, I just been waiting for this moment. Some people, I don't care. Till this day, you can talk to them about aliens, government, no matter what. It's like they're brainwashed.
That's
robots. They robots.
Dude, desensitized. Like that's literally through movies. Like, like there's like a whole documentary they talk about, man, on, you know, it's what is it? Psychological warfare, they call it. You know, the not the FBI, but the what's the other CIA, right? They were all mixed into Hollywood.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, like there's documents that they released and they talked about it, man, and how, you know, basically the strategy behind television, right? Television.
Yeah, tell lies to our vision.
Man, I'm telling you, dude, like it's wicked. It's like, yo, why would they get so heavily influenced into, you know,
because certain people,
they want us programmed. They want us desensitized to the truth. And so they water down these movies and give us an imagination or, you know, something kind of like you said earlier, to twist, you know, our thought on what we
really
think
is.
It could really be, you know. But yeah, dude, I mean, we talk about, you know, aliens and stuff like that, dude, and, you know, this like UFO technology. And we did the podcast early on, man. Talk about the sightings and, you know, what I've experienced, man. Like I've seen a couple before, dude, like multiple times.
I've never seen it or experienced it, but from videos, like live videos I done seen on Facebook, where it was, matter of fact, it was out in California. And it was like, you see the stars.
Yeah.
Then you see like this, like you've never seen like a blue orb. Prime example, like the light, the LED lights. It was like one of those light blues in the sky. What is really going to turn a sky that color?
And people want to denounce it as a drone
or something
like that.
Man, bro, no drone. I don't care. No drone is moving that fast from where you can see it sitting there and then it just zooms out real. Like nothing is moving that fast. I don't care.
No helicopter. No drone. No, you know, jet, even, like, you know, when those things are, you know, in air traffic control, like, you know, they have a destination to go to, you know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna sit there just play around. And they got a lot more rules on people who fly those drones, and, you know, but like the time that I, you know, saw my first one, dude, like it was 3 of them. It was, you know, I was coming out of Walmart and, you know, retelling this, you know, whole deal. But like, you know, me and my girlfriend at the time was just trying to buckle in our kid, man. And, like she saw it first. She was looking at it. She's like, Chad, what's that? I'm like, what? She said, right there. And I'm looking, I'm like, you know, it was just kind of, you know, it wasn't quite dark, but it was getting there. And I saw these 3 little orbs, right? Just little balls of light. One here, one like here, and one here. So it looked like a triangle. So I'm looking like, yo, what is that, man? And it was so crazy. It almost seemed like they were communicating to one another. So the one that was here would look like they were talking back and forth to where this one will move here, this one will move here. So I'm thinking like, yo, what is that? And so I'm looking around like, yo, does anybody else see this? And of course, a minute or two in it, I'm like, where my phone? Like, I gotta record this. Phone dead. Told my girl, give me see if dead. I'm like, yo, first of all, that's irresponsible of us to not have a work phone, but I'm sitting there thinking like, yo, this is crazy. And I'm telling you, as these things were moving, dude, I'm talking like the one at the top would kind of gradually come down this weird angle.
Like they was rotating.
Yo, and then they'll stop here. But they wasn't going simultaneously. They were just one would do this move, other one would kind of go up and do this move. The one over here kind of come towards the middle, and you look at them, they're in this weird little formation. I'm like, what is going on? And all of a sudden, the one that you saw that just moved disappeared. And so now it's just 2. I'm like, you see this? Like, yeah, look at it. And I'm looking and this is all a good about 10-minute event, dude, of us just looking at it like, yo, this is amazing. I don't know what it is.
Right. You don't.
The first thing I think about, like you said, drone. Nah, ain't no drone gonna be sitting there that long. The way the color was on this thing, bro, I'm telling you, it was a very it was spinning, but it was dark. It was blue. Then it turned to a white, and then it was red, and it almost looked like it was turning all the colors of the rainbow, this color spectrum. And I'm thinking what is going on? And all of a sudden, the other one would disappear. So now it's one left, and all of a sudden, the one that disappeared now reappears over here. So I'm thinking what? How is this happening? And then little by little, man, they will all reappear, go back to this weird little triangle type of formation, and one by one they would come out this weird angle and then just disappear, dude. And I'm thinking yo, that's crazy. Look, after this whole deal, look, let me show y'all a video that's out there. There's a couple of videos, actually there's a bunch of videos, man, that people who experience the same type of deal, and I'm gonna show y'all exactly what I mean, because explaining is one thing, but when you see it on video, these people have their phone charged. They call these things. They're like, yo, you see what that? And dude, I'm telling you, bro, it's crazy. You talking about sleep paralysis, and everybody experienced that same thing. All kinds of people around the world, bro, are seeing these things. What are they? You know what I'm saying?
And the crazy thing is when people try to put this information out or see things and record and put it out, it's like, nah, you crazy. Why or how am I crazy from seeing something weird in the sky that I've never seen before that's throwing me off? That doesn't make me crazy.
Yeah. I mean, you really calling for what it is. It's an unidentified flying object.
Exactly.
Nobody said that there were aliens. For all we know, that's reverse technology that the government got their hands on. You know what I'm saying?
They're using it.
And they're using it to test out their own, ability to take what they gotten from, 1943, I think it happened, Roswell, New Mexico. You know what I'm saying?
That.
Well, that crash happened, dude. Read about that. Read about, that, and just in 2 days, basically, when this crash happened, how many, military folks came and captured it. The initial newspaper article that came out to describe what happened, they said flying saucer crashed here in Roswell, New Mexico. Government came straight to that place, told them, you better change the story. And basically, it just so happened to be a weather balloon. And from that point on, all of a sudden, all these are, these sightings, these crash, weather balloon. This is, what's it called? Something gas.
Something that what is it? They saying
swamp gas or no?
Or something that coming out the earth.
Yes, it's some type of deal that they basically try to explain away.
Saying is you hallucinating. Is it like that saying a person hallucinating?
No, they're saying you see something, but it's not what you're thinking it is. I mean, I guess you could be saying,
they're making it seem like the other person is not really seeing what they saw. So
because it's all this stuff happening in Oumuamua. I was telling you about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
The first you heard about that.
Mm-hmm.
So 2017, this object entered our solar system. First interstellar object ever to ever enter our solar system. It came down past the sun, right? And the first initial thing they're gonna say is, "Oh, it's a comet or it's an
Yeah.
asteroid," right?
True that.
But so then it came in past the sun, curved out. It was crazy that it went past the Earth as close as it did, right?
Yeah.
Came past the Earth, but the thing that they saw that was very significant that it left faster than it came in. No out. So the details of a comet is, or asteroid or whatever, is outgassing. So it's got a lot of ice on it. So once it goes past the sun, you're gonna see a tail.
Yeah.
You're gonna see a tail on it. This thing ain't have no tail, no nothing at all. And they said when it came out and went straight past the Earth, it they said by the time they saw it, it was too far out.
Yeah.
And that's for people to believe, but I feel like they saw it early enough to go check it out. They'll tell.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're gonna tell the people.
Yeah, they'll tell
what they
us
want to
that.
tell us.
Yeah, but this thing, no outgassing, no nothing. The biggest thing that they can say is probably about 100 yards long, so about the size of a football field.
Yeah.
But the way the light reflects off of it, so you can tell something. You can tell if something's a comet. But the way the light reflects off of it from its rotational turns, they said it's only a millimeter thick, or a millimeter or less thick or thin or whatever.
Yeah.
And you got that scientist from Harvard University that is very adamant that this was alien technology that came past our planet.
I believe it.
And there's no distinguishable reason for why you shouldn't think that, because it doesn't have any characteristic of a comet or asteroid at all.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm trying to make sure I get that video lined up where I can show y'all, man. But I'm telling you, it's crazy, man. It's crazy out here.
It's just all this stuff is just developing within the past, couple years or whatever, and it's just gonna keep on coming out, and then people just gonna come to the forefront and then have a selfie with an alien on their phone.
Hey, look, but see, honestly, I really don't think a lot of people, we've been so conditioned, we've been so, like I said, just like you said earlier, brainwashed. We have been so desensitized to this whole thing. Is that when this event or whatever, I'm not calling, this is what's going to happen, but if this thing were to happen, a lot of people not going to be, two-phased, because, we're doing this, man. We're so consumed, man, by this.
Yeah.
And, a lot of this stuff, like I said, a lot of information about these things are out there.
Yeah,
a lot of people just don't want to take the time to read about it, because for one, like you said, you don't want to believe it. So, it's easy for me to just ignore it because I don't believe in it. But until you going about your normal day, your normal routine, and all of a sudden something stops you in your track and you happen to look up. A lot of people don't look up these days, man.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I always do, man. I just look up. I don't know, I love the stars. I love the sky, man. I love, looking at nature, man. I mean, I'm always out there when I'm fishing, just trying to enjoy myself, man, out in the woods. But I always used to look up in the stars, man, when I was younger. But I'm telling you, man, like the times I told you about those 3 UFOs, man, I've seen. But I'm telling you, man, there's some other times that I'm like, what was that? Yo, I'm telling you, what was that?
Yeah, that's I love to actually see a UFO or something. I don't want to see it from the movies or somebody else. I want to actually see it.
Yeah.
But yo, when you see one, it's not going to be what you think. Like you said, not from the movie.
Yeah.
It's literally like an orb of light, but going at a crazy speed. And you trying to rationalize, all right, all these different thoughts on what it could be, but yet you still left there clueless. Yo, this ain't nothing to what we. Yeah.
It's we can't comprehend it.
Yeah.
I don't think we ever gonna be able to comprehend it until somebody releases the information.
Yeah,
that we
until they really,
hear.
and then we can't comprehend it because it's like our brain is trying to process what we're looking at and what we're seeing, but it's not moving fast enough to click in our head till after the fact.
Yo, you ever heard of the Nazca lines? Yo, that's crazy.
Yo,
I ain't even trying to be funny. That sounds like some weird sexual shit.
But look,
The Nazca line.
it's crazy. But look, basically, it's an area somewhere to where basically these people who created these lines in the ground, like, were creating these things for a reason, for a purpose, but it was for a purpose for somebody who's up from above. So basically, you know, they're
Communication, kind of.
Somewhat. Let me see if I can find another image for you. But like,
Yeah, because if you look back at all history, caves, Sumerian
Yeah.
texts,
yeah, Sumerian text,
all that stuff, man. And if you look at the Incan and Mayan, and you look at ancient Egypt and stuff like that, like the higher, like they all had a language to
Talk to a higher power.
talk to a higher power, and it's just like they drew and wrote out like crazy stuff on those
Yeah.
like walls and scriptures and tablets and stuff like that. And it's like, who were they speaking to? Who were they talking
Exactly.
to? And
Like, who were they really praising and all that?
the significance of these different things that they write down, man, it's just crazy.
Here's some of the like just the images, man. You can, I think there's some if you scroll down, but like, you know, it's just like a large location, man, where it's like a bunch of these weird lines that was in this formation. When you're at the ground level, just like, well, where these go to? Like, but when you up from above,
shit.
Let me see.
Yo, hold on, bro. Am I tripping?
Let me see.
so like when you look at it from above, these things
look at that
all
picture.
kind of like come together, man. But like the thing is like these people at that time, the Peruvian or whatever, you know, people,
Couldn't explain it.
what were
or-
they creating these things to?
So-
like at their level of technology that they had, they're at the level of, you know, being on the ground. What's above to where like they're creating these things to kind of look at and communicate to? It's like, what is that? But yeah, Nazca lines, look that up, man.
What are y'all talking to? Like, though, like, and then you can see the line. It looks like some weird language or something that's not from here.
Like a figure or something like
Yeah.
that.
But see, like a lot of these too, they thinking that it's like you can kind of like a runway for a, you know, airplanes we have, right? We have
Mhm.
like airports. They're thinking that these are kind of like a runway for
Whatever.
was, you know, at that time. But yeah, bro, like, you know, like you said, you look at these things, bro, it's like, yo, they're on the ground and they're creating these things, but like,
Yeah, like, look at that. Like,
And that's like big, right?
yeah, huge, man. Yeah, real huge.
like that. I mean,
That's like an entire road right there.
like the way it that looks like people.
Yeah.
That's like people, bro.
It's like they depict what they, you know, could imagine for it to look like, man.
Yeah, and that's this picture right here. That's weird, but that it's like a family. And then is that a dog like off to the side? Like it looks like a little dog off to the side in the corner right there, in the right hand side. Like over here. It looks like a
oh,
dog.
whenever. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like it looked like a lady, whatever, and some kids, and it's like a dog off to the side. Look, I'm like,
that's crazy.
And you gotta have good eyes to even visualize or picture, like
the precision that they use, whatever tools that they were using, bro, to create those things.
So hold on, this was done what, a long time ago?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh no, so this ain't recent.
No. This is like ancient stuff.
You can
like
tell
this,
that's old.
This was back in
So you know how like when you look in the clouds and shit, and you can see like you can actually see shapes of shit,
Mm-hmm.
or you can visualize and looking at like something you done seen on TV. What do you think that is? I done definitely looked in the clouds before and seen like the shape of Bart Simpson head, or
I think that's just a creative mind.
but I'm being dead serious. Like I've seen like the clouds look like something I didn't seen before.
Yeah.
And it just blows my mind when I see it though.
I think it's like, I think like with anything in life, if you pay attention to the signs but if you pay attention to the signs as they come to you, energy can manifest itself in many different formations.
Yeah,
you know,
it
so
definitely can.
it was just like when that time I was riding after Pauline died. You know, the crazy story about that is like me and Devon was like working out, and I told him, I was like, you know, I said, man, I don't feel too good. So then he was like, well, you done? I'm like, man, I was like, I really don't feel good, man. And then we was going to leave because he was staying up at Eagles Landing.
mm-hmm.
Get back down to my parents' house. soon as we opened the door, my dad was like, "Come in here," and then like I saw the truck outside.
Mm.
No, not the truck.
The
No,
ambulance.
not the ambulance. But my dad was like, "Come in here." So I walked in there, and she was taking her last breaths. Like literally,
Like,
as soon as
yeah.
me and Devon got back, and Devon, I remember, I stood there, and she just was kind of like doing that, like that, and then Devon like looked over, and I remember I looked back at Devon, and he like shook his head and walked out the
Oh
room,
man.
and I just like sat there, and it's like for us to be like working out and stuff like that, and I just I was just like, man, I don't feel good. So to elaborate on that, I was going to class at Liberty, driving on the highway, and like this is go back what Jamal said, the 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 clouds like opened up, sun peeked through, hit me like right in my face. Man, I was like, I got like super emotional. So I went in class. We had a ton of people in the class. Man, I just started crying in the class. And I couldn't stop. So I got up and left.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like those signs and stuff like that and everything are something that people, like you say, need to pay attention to. You need to look up. You need to pay attention to what's going on around you, man. Because for that to happen to me, get sick, and I get in the house right before she take her last couple breaths, and then that happened to me. It's just signs of significance, signs that people are okay and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So,
for sure, man.
Yeah, I think that stuff is just it's crazy when we talk about things like that.
Those Nazca lines were from 200 BC up to 500 AD. So that's the timeline. Whenever they're dating those Nazca lines back, I looked it up to see how far back did it go, but that's how far back those things were created. Wow.
That's like the what was the movie, yo? What was the movie with the alien that kind of creeped us out as kids? With the crop field, scary movie, Signs.
Yo, I just watched that a few weeks ago.
Yo,
me and my wife.
like,
look, the one, my bad to cut you off, but look, all I can think about when I think of Signs is the scene when the kids were having the birthday party, and all of a sudden the family were sitting there in the chair watching the TVs, like it's like a news anchor came on talking about what happened. All of a sudden, the view came straight into like this house or whatever. It's like looking down and like this alien just having to walk right
past.
Yo, that scene used to always take me out.
That's a creepy scene, bro.
With the movie Signs?
Yeah, the part where the alien walks past the like they're in the house though, and the alien,
eventually,
the alien walks past or something.
Yeah,
like that movie Signs. Like I feel like they took that from real.
Throw that mic in the trash.
I felt like they took that from real information that didn't happen, because they didn't definitely show where crop fields had these signs in them, and it's like not one human being can take the time and do that, because the way it looked, that would take a person months into years. That shit was like an hour or so.
Yeah,
with them doing that. So it's like they use their technology. It's like, we're gonna put drop these little signs and symbols here and there, see if they'll pick up on it. And like, where's these, like, what I remember they crop circles, they said what like kids did it or something was playing. No, man, you're not about to sit here and tell me no child, no kid playing, doing whatever, setting the crop field on fire is gonna make this symbol, bro.
Yeah, true that.
Like, do you know how much time it's gonna take to literally wipe out a crop field like that?
Yeah.
And then put those right there.
With such precision too, man.
Exactly.
Like,
it was perfect.
But like that goes all the way back, like you said, like in our modern day deal, we look at those crop circles like, yo, that's crazy. But like when you look at the there you go. Nope. When you look at like the pyramid, how that was built. We know slaves more likely built that, but like you look at other ancient civilizations, man, who has these like things that we can't replicate to this day.
Exactly.
Yo, it's like, what technology did they have? Like, I'm talking like rock formations that they stacked, like to build this whatever thing. But like these things were like, you can put one of those rulers in there, bro, and you can get a 90-degree angle. I mean, sharp. Like, yo, it's like they melted this rock to fit in that.
Like, they say no human is perfect. So what made this perfect.
Yo, it's like Tetris, like literally. I'm
Yeah.
gonna show you a picture, but it's like whoever put this together, man. Like I think in that TV show I was watching, man, they were trying to replicate it, but like our current capability, dude, we cannot even fathom, dude, how they got to that point. And these structures are still up for us today to look at, and just like, yo, that's a sign like that. That's something that they possess, in that time frame that we obviously don't, have, or we do. We just don't have our hands on it, or it's not meant for the public eye yet to see.
Yeah.
But like, I definitely believe, man, and the government has, I always used to hear this a long time ago, man. But like they're saying that they're about 30 years ahead of us in technology, man.
Mhm.
Between the underground bunkers and the bases that they have, dude, testing out all this stuff, reverse engineering.
Like,
I don't know, man.
What is the pyramids basically are the pyramids show what is it
with the star?
but it's the degree of the earth too.
Yeah,
The way they set up
Yes.
is like the circumference or something like
Yeah,
that.
something like that.
So
yeah.
it's like the way they are set up and constructed near each other are the exact circumference, frequency, and everything of the earth and
But
stuff like
right
that.
above too, though, like I don't know the name of these stars, but like they're directly above these stars, man. Like,
Yeah.
I gotta look it up. I gotta be more.
Is it like the North is one of them? I don't know,
North
because I
Star?
know what you're talking about, because like I seen pictures of like those stars like sitting right over top of the pyramid,
Yeah.
and they lined up like perfect.
Yep.
And then the way the pyramids are constructed, they tell the degree of the earth like to
Yes.
a T.
that's crazy.
Yeah, and then there's multiple different structures on the earth that all align to the same degree that create the degree of the earth in different countries,
Yeah.
like mega structures and stuff like that. So it's something behind it, and they're trying to figure it out.
This is what it
But
looks like.
yeah, I seen that picture. Yeah,
Yo, that's crazy.
and all them
that's-
stars line up like that.
Yeah.
And even in Egyptian movies, when they do the pyramid, why the stars are always lined up with the pyramids.
Yeah,
They like whatever they make for Hollywood, but when they do it, the stars are always like perfect with the pyramids for some odd reason.
Yeah.
So in order to put that in a movie, you got to know something.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How do y'all feel about? Oh, well,
Now go ahead.
I know.
Yeah,
it's
what else?
weird,
What else
but
next?
It's off topic, but how do y'all really feel about us really going to the moon? Do you believe that we really touched down?
You know what? I feel like we did.
I don't feel like we did.
I feel like we did because of this. I feel like we did, and like with any rich man with power, when he found a resource,
Of course.
you're not gonna go back and like, keep on showing you it.
Mm-mm.
You know,
Mm.
and maybe we didn't, but I'm
But-
very optimistic of it though,
I don't, for some
because
reason,
what's that new cell phone commercial? You just these two chicks riding in the like a
This-
cart, and then
the-
like the phone fly out the cart.
the T-Mobile joint.
You see how real that looks?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
But-
like, dog.
Yeah.
but for some odd reason, I feel like
It
we
was
really,
staged,
Yeah,
like-
it was staged, bruh.
But,
Like
when
we really didn't go to the moon.
the thing is, like, too, when I think about it, man, it's like whether we did or we didn't. It's like, all right, say if we did,
Mhm.
why aren't we going back there?
Facts.
What's there to where Neil Armstrong and all these other astronauts saw? Like, he has a testimony, like literally
Yeah.
another thing that people don't look at, right? Oh, we went to the moon, hooray! It's great. But even
It's
in
a
hearing
testimony
that,
of what he saw.
he saw some things, bro, that
Was
know-
like, I ain't going back.
well, maybe so, but like some things that he just, he couldn't explain. But like, basically he saw some unidentified things, man, and I don't think it was so much on the moon that he saw, but like, while he was in space, he was able to see these
some
things.
Cause all right, so what was the movie they made about him? Apollo what?
12 maybe, or 11, maybe 11.
Mm-hmm.
I can't
'Cause
remember.
I can't remember. It was
Was it with Bruce Willis in it?
no, it was supposed to be an Apollo something.
Mm.
Apollo 13. Yeah,
Rocket.
Apollo
Oh, yeah,
13.
13. Yeah, yeah.
So, that was about us supposed to be going to the moon, this and that. Then they ended up doing a movie called Apollo 18. which was the horror movie
Oh
of
yeah,
what the hell happened on the moon. When
yeah.
they
What really
went.
happened?
And
Yo, I was supposed to. I never finished watching that.
oh, you need to watch because the ending is so fucked up. Because so basically they went to the moon, they landed on the moon or whatever for in the movie, and they went into these caves in the moon. But the whole time, the moon, it was like the creatures. Have you ever seen like the crabs that blend in with the sand? It looked like it's like a boat or something, but it's really a crab.
Yeah,
It's like
hermit crab.
Yeah, like
sand crab or
no, it's like a hermit. It's like the crab is actually like a rock, but it's a crab.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So in the Apollo 18, these was like moon. They was like a moon version of it though, but they were like creatures. So they got out of the cave. A couple of them died. A lot of them died. The whole time, as this one dude was coming back to Earth, another thing from US was already coming back, like coming out there to the moon. So as he's calling in to like come back home, they're like basically giving him the runaround. He's like, I seen this. They was like, no, you ain't seen nothing. And then it's like, they start telling him like, you can't come home. Why are you telling this man he can't come home after he done seen some wild, wicked shit on the moon?
Yeah.
And like towards the end of the movie, they cut his communication off. And like a couple of the workers, they was like, yo, you know, that's kind of fucked up. It's like they giving us look like this man has a family and stuff, and y'all just cut him off. But it was a reason why. So the little moon creatures ended up getting in the spaceship somehow.
Oh, wow.
Like, yo, he literally locked and shut the door and you don't see anything go behind him.
Yeah.
Yo, towards the end, like a couple seconds right before he crashed, they turn the camera back to him and these like joints are like in the whole spaceship.
Oh, snap.
And the whole time they were blended in with the spaceship because, you know, it's all white. So that's saying, no, you just hear they're attacking him and he crashes into a whole nother spaceship that was going to the moon.
Dang.
So it's like the government knew what was out there,
Yeah.
and they didn't want to tell nobody or bring this back because they knew it was going to be a big uproar and it would, like a lot of people had questions and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, Apollo 18, it was a dumb movie, but it was good.
Yeah, thought provoking. You know, just get your mind.
Yeah, get your mind thinking
really
like what's really
the
out there.
possibility.
I wonder what Neil Armstrong saw though.
That's what. Yeah.
So it's on record. You know what he talked about, man, and he did a lot of interviews on different shows, man. Talking about his time in space. It's another person too, another astronaut, man. I can't think of his name, but he too had a similar type of experience, man, where he saw something that he just couldn't explain. But I tell you who to watch, man. As far as like if we did go to the moon, or if we were going back to the moon, Elon Musk, man, he's making it happen, dude.
Yeah,
he's definitely making it happen. I mean, with the current technology that we have, like we should be being able to go back to the moon. But I did used to think about that, man, when I was younger. It's like, oh, all these videos and pictures in the history book of man's accomplishment, man. But it's like, yo, did they really go? Like, could they have Hollywooded and make it seem like we did this huge great thing in order to do whatever else in the background to get some type of funding? Or I don't know.
And to make, I felt like they wanted people to believe they really went to the moon. And then it's like, you have certain TV shows and stuff that a pinpoint, like, did we really go to the moon? And then it makes you sit back and think, like, did we really go, or did they really stage all this to make it like we was really there?
Yeah.
I think they went.
I don't know, but I want to believe we did, but then it's like they claim it's like a dome around the world. So it's confusing.
I just feel like Chad saying, man, they went to a foreign place that they don't know nothing about.
Yeah.
And, for you not to be going, maybe they behind our backs, they going back and forth because
possibly,
they found, stuff like that. But it's like you trying to go, it's like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre house. You gonna go back in there after you see him
Shoot.
and you make it out?
Right.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And as fearless, quote unquote, as the U.S., Russia, everybody is, and things like that. Why haven't you gone back? My question is, I believe you gone back, and these guys who have went, I believe you have went, but these guys who have went, something didn't. Something up.
Russia, right? They, I think, didn't they? Either they went with us, or
it
like
was
they
like
were
a
already
competition
there,
thing.
or it's a competition thing, right?
Like to see who would get there first.
Because they sent the first spacecraft to Venus.
Yep.
And they were the first one to land on Venus with a spacecraft.
Yo, I swear last year they were talking about like Russia claiming a planet. Did you read about that at all?
I heard about that.
I think they were talking about claiming
it.
Mars. They were like, because we trying to explore Mars and understand. But like, I feel as though, like, I'm telling you, I read that somewhere that Russia has claimed. Like, yo, how do you claim a freaking planet, dude? Like, y'all crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But another thing though to think about, Space Force.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. Yo, why do we need I thought it was a joke whenever that thing sort of coming around.
Do you hear about that?
What?
Space Force.
Space Force. Like, they're literally.
Donald Trump made Space
There's
Force?
literally a branch in the
military,
and it's Space Force.
Hey, speaking on that, it was like they was trying to call this man crazy because he started talking about like the aliens in the space. Nah, I didn't hear about it, but I seen when he talked about like, we got Space Force and aliens are real. And like people were painting a picture like he was crazy. But they say he was actually telling the truth about what the fuck was really
his
going
grandfather got all of Nikola Tesla's artifacts.
I did read about that.
And Nikola Tesla had this thing or something, something he had, and he was sitting there talking to people in other solar systems and stuff like that, like planets and close proximity. And they said, "Oh, he just crazy. He just talking to himself." But Donald Trump, like when Nikola Tesla died, and that they believe it was a hit because he was about to come out with something. He had tons of patents of technologies that he said he got from
the alien,
the transmission of people from other solar systems.
One of them being cars being run off of water. I think it was one of the technologies or something like that. Somebody came up with that. Maybe it wasn't Nikola Tesla, but it was somebody that basically got taken out, because
that's crazy.
And Donald Trump's grandfather was the one that went into his apartment and gathered all the information. Just gathered all his notes and everything like that.
And I believe it too.
And people don't know about that, but they gotta research it because stuff is crazy, man. You'll never know who done what.
These other planets that's out there, I don't care. I feel like how we are on Earth, it's others like that on other planets, but they're not human. I feel like they're.
I believe. You know what? I'm gonna throw a bone out there. I believe there's other humans out there.
Of course, I do.
I seriously
like a different version of us.
I feel like it's other humans out there like us, and I feel like it's because I was listening to this video, this dude talking about the Andromedans or something like that, and he's saying like, he said they look like us, but they got massive foreheads. Like, and he was like, it's just crazy. But like this one dude was talking about Proxima Centauri, the closest star to us, and he was like, you gotta think of it like this, right? He said when we look out into space, we look for oxygen and stuff like that, as far as in atmospheres. But he said, that might be fine and dandy once we get the James Webb telescope up to look at Proxima B or whatever. But he said, you got to think they live around a red dwarf. So the light transmission, we live around the sun. Well, I forgot what kind of star. It's a G type star, I think, or something like that. And the transmission emits different types of light. So he said, it's almost like those people, if it's life forms that live on Proxima B, they're going to have transmission of infrared almost. Their eyesight might be different because they live near a red dwarf and it emits different light. So he was like, it'll be, a feat once we see these life forms and stuff like that. He said it'll be wicked to know what's going on.
If people can, and those who probably going to end up watching this, man, going to have their own, theory on what they believe, whether, we did land on the moon or not, or whether they experienced, sleep paralysis or not, or, whether they, seeing UFO or not. But like, honestly, yo, with the bottom line, when it comes to aliens or UFO, something's out there.
Yeah. It definitely is.
There's so overwhelming evidence to support that, whatever this is, the technology, maybe it's us testing, like I said, testing out that we possess something that, they don't want the world to see yet, or they don't want countries like Russia, North Korea, all these different, places to hold on to because of the power that holds with that. But yeah, dude, I'm telling you that stuff is real out there, dude.
But I believe it, and I definitely believe it's real. Like, you can't keep you're not gonna keep putting stuff out there, making movies on aliens and witchcraft movies and like spiritual movies. Like, you can't keep throwing this out there without some type of fact of it being true at all. You can't nobody's gonna just make, all right, boom, say we young movie directors, I got an idea, we gonna make something about aliens, but don't nobody really know about aliens. Like, no, somebody knows something to put this information out there, or to make it into a movie, or authors who write books and stuff. Like, people have to see this or physically dealt with it to actually put this out there.
Yeah.
Cucumber tastes better pickled.
Hey.
Cucumber tastes better. I like that, yo. I like that.
That's right.
Oh man.
Yo, we've been killing it.
Yeah, we've been vibing, man.
Yeah.
Talking about some good stuff.
We've definitely been killing it. I don't think I'm ready to end it, but
yeah, man, right.
I guess if we do this on a consistent basis and people can see the growth, because we can legit have this conversation right now and be like, what's the most predominant way to shut it off and leave the people with a glimmer of hope and not the soap? No, but yeah,
with the hope.
Like far as why it's like I guess over hope, down with the dope. But I guess the thing I want to say is, man, where we headed, and I just want a synopsis on that from both of y'all. I
feel like where we headed, like with
everything
we just talked about.
It can be within your life. It could be mankind. It could be whatever.
I feel like we're headed in a different direction since, this whole, I don't know how to put it because YouTube's so funny about how you put it. This whole virus, put it like this. I feel like we're being pushed into a different direction compared to where we were going at first. It's like, boom, we dropped this. We're going to have to shift them this way. We like what they were doing, but it's time to like maneuver the bots that they can maneuver to the left, not the right. Fuck that. They going left with this shit. So the ones that they have controlled and brainwashed and shit, I feel like, we're gonna drop this, push them this way so we can steer them, because I feel like we was heading in a good direction until this shit happened. It just messed the whole world up.
Yeah.
And then boom, all right, it's slowly dying down, but I don't know if y'all heard, but Northern Virginia has a new case now.
Oh, I read that.
About it's the UK COVID. And then in Minnesota, they had the Jamaican COVID. Like, how y'all giving these names? Like, how's this a UK COVID situation? Yeah. No, it's all one. You just want to, I feel like they just want to put it's a scare tactic.
Yeah.
Put it like that. It's a scare tactic.
The mutated strand.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying, like this whole like UK thing. I did read about that,
a
man.
Mutated strand from the first strand.
The first strand, right.
So that, I don't care. So that's telling me, y'all was playing around.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it came from Wuhan into this
exactly
market where someone ate a bat. Like, Come on. Like, you mean tell me somebody in Wuhan, wherever that place is, ate a bat, got sick, and now that same sickness reached
and they
into...
but you telling me these people been doing this stuff for years?
Yeah.
You have people who really do this.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden, boom. But I'm not really
conspiracy theorist.
No, hell no. I'm deep into that.
Okay.
But I'm trying to put this I'm not like I'm not like into the Bible like I was as a kid. So you know, but when this first popped off, I'll never forget when somebody posted a picture it was a scripture part out of the Bible, but it was talking about what we're dealing with now. They said people are gonna get it. It's gonna kill off thousands, close to millions. It's gonna disappear. And then within 5 to 10 years, it's supposed to pop back up again, but it's gonna be worse than what we dealt with the first time.
Yeah.
Like it said it's supposed to take out millions of people.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's just them saying like, we being overpopulated, we got to kill half of y'all off. Because if you think about it, every time certain places in the U.S., well, not the U.S., the world are overpopulated, it's always something messed up that hits them.
Yeah.
Prime example, New Orleans, very overpopulated with Black people. They knew about the storm or whatever. Why didn't the president take his power to get those people or at least warn those people and get them out of New Orleans? And then like till this day, they still, I mean, it's better than what it was, but you know, it still affects certain people.
Yeah.
And it's like Texas, prime example, that's another big state, overpopulated. All of us now as growing up, we always know Texas to be a hot state. Now all of a sudden they getting these bad storms that you would get like out in the south somewhere, like down in Florida. Like, yeah, I know tsunamis and tornadoes, all that shift, but they usually say by the time it shifts and gets to us, it should be lower than what it was. But like, so say something hit Florida and it's moving around to like the bottom of Atlanta and New Orleans, all that down south area. By the time it gets there, that storm shouldn't be as strong as it was when it first hit Florida.
Yeah.
How does it go from Florida still being that super strong to come through and wipe out?
Freddy Krueger.
To wipe out. Might see me in your dreams tonight. Like, why is the storm still moving that strong to where it took out down there half of New Orleans, yo?
Yeah.
Well, you know, every storm originates off the coast of Africa. And then it follows the slave trade line all the way up the East Coast.
Ain't that crazy, bro?
Yeah.
That like I did read about that.
Well, not storm, but hurricane?
Yeah,
or
the hurricane.
Yeah.
I don't care. The whole world, before they start naming the different continents and shit, was all one.
Yeah.
Pangea.
Yeah. It was like the world was big as shit. It was all one. And then something had to happen for that joint to split and open. Because if you look from like where we are in the U.S. to he ready to say from where we are in the U.S. to Africa, it's like a big gap.
Yeah.
But if you look at the borderline and look at the lines, it's like it connected back then.
What the Indians used to call North America Turtle Island. If you look at North America with Canada on top of it, it do look like a turtle.
Right? Yeah, it do.
True that.
Yep. And how they know that?
Exactly.
And then how do they know that?
That's wild.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's for them to map that down. You know, that knowledge, man.
Because nobody mapped it out before, you know, the settlers came over here.
Yeah.
And somebody mapped it out before they did.
Right.
They claimed that they mapped it out before they did. But how do these Indians know to call it Turtle Island?
Exactly.
And you look at it and it looked like a
turtle.
Yeah,
with a shell on top of it.
Literally, man.
That's the crazy part. But yeah, Chad, what you got, man? What direction?
Man, I tell you this. This is all going as part of the plan. Not just the whole COVID thing, but you know, when you talk about the Bible, man, I'm a firm believer in the Bible, man. When I talk about the last days and the end days, man, we'll see all this perilous times and, you know, just chaos, bro. But no conspiracy, man. But I definitely believe what the scripture talks about, man. How there's going to be a new world order,
Mhm.
and they're pushing that. And if you look at George Bush Senior, in one of his talks at the what you call that place? I can,
Bohemian Grove.
well, oh man, I can go.
I'm about to open a whole nother
Hey, look,
can of
that's a
worms.
whole. Hey, look, I heard that peel and go back. Hey, look, we can go there. No.
Yo, we can go.
What's the name of the? So, all right, basically, he gave this speech, and he talked about, the new world order, man, and I truly believe, man, they are setting up a system, man, and that system is part of the beast system that the Bible talks about, man, and how, you won't be able to buy nor sell without that mark, whatever that mark's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be a chip or whatever, but
And they
like,
definitely pushing hard for people to get
like, I think we are at the next stepping stone of the plan, man. Like I said, I think this stuff's been written down and talked about for a very long
centuries,
time,
yeah.
right? Very long time. When you talk about Freemasonry and how America started and what they've established, these secret societies and these folks who control the world, the Geppetto, man, like they're pulling the strings. They think they are, those who are behind the scenes. I think there's a shadow government, man, of those who are really pulling the strings. But
Yeah.
all in all, the big picture, man, I still believe that God is still in control, so like there's no need to fear, but I truly believe, man, that a lot of things, I wish it can be sunshine and roses, but there's going to be some challenging times, man.
And without the sunshine, you can't have the darkness. So
yeah, man. Yeah.
And without the dark, you can't have the light.
Yeah. I think it's going to be some challenging times ahead of us, man. And like I said, this COVID thing is not even the scratching of the surface.
I feel like this is the spark of it. This is it's the spark. It's not the what's going to push it, but it's like that's the spark. All right, we're gonna start with this, and like it's like I feel like they have strings and they just cutting them one by one.
I'm telling you, man, they're like I said. I think it was lab created when you talk about COVID and how this stuff was released, and Bill Gates talk about what would happen if yada yada yada, and he's the same one pushing this whole
prime example.
Yeah,
this man Bill Gates talked about this years ago.
Come on, yeah,
years ago.
Yep,
and then boom, 2020 it happened.
That's right.
And I don't care if people like I'm a big conspiracy theorist, but I also do the research first when I get into that. But if you pay attention, it started over in China.
Yeah.
That it's a lab that they was doing it out of.
Yeah.
And the lab symbol is the symbol from Resident Evil, the Umbrella Corp company. And it's like an octagon, but it's like it's like red and white in it. And like this place where they claim it started is the same symbol that's in that movie. And it's on the front of the building.
That's wicked, man. Yeah, that's wicked.
The symbolism behind it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of symbolism, man.
And that's another, and they always say it from the beginning. What's the easiest thing they can put in our face, but people won't pay attention to it on the front or the back, or really the back when you look at it? Money.
Yeah.
Why is it that from the 5 to the 20, it has stuff on the back that actually happened?
Didn't you show us that owl on there?
Yeah, there's
the owl. I seen that.
Then you got the actual language that's on the $1 bill. Like, yo, we in America, like, why we have pyramids with an all-seeing eye? That's right there, right? I mean, I see a lot of people, and if you notice, man, like there's a lot of TV commercials, music artists, clothing that represents this one image of the pyramid with the all-seeing eye, dude.
But they make it a negative image when they put this out there.
Yeah.
But that's definitely a whole nother subject.
Right, I was saying
that one would be some deep stuff, but it's like, if you look at what is it, the 20 looks like, when you fold it all up, it looks like New York is being
Oh,
hit with something. It's like waves coming through New York.
is that
Like
on
they
20?
Is it 20 or the 100?
I want to say it's the
'Cause
100.
no, the 100. No, the new 100. Well, the new 100 with the blue strip has
yeah.
the they have bells like, and when you turn it and pay attention, it's like the bells are ringing,
Right.
like it's a alarm or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. It might have been a 20. It might
I
have been
think
20.
it's the 20.
But yeah,
It's 20 or the 50. One of the,
yeah,
I know it's a big bill though,
yeah.
and it looks like New York buildings around, and it looks like something hit the ocean, and it's like it caused a big wave to knock all mad shit.
Well, that's one thing we didn't get into tonight, man, was like the other side of the dreams that I used to have, man. Like, I mean, just like some like natural disaster, I will say that for next time, but like, just some like stuff that were to this day, I can remember the sense of smell, the touch, everything, like the scenery with these natural disasters, earthquakes, tsunamis, like just going crazy around the world and people freaking out, bro. But I'll talk about that the next time. Man.
What's the movie that they for 2012?
2012, yeah.
Yo,
yeah.
like those events, I believe will actually end up happening, whether we will see it or not.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it will happen, and it's going to go down like the way it went down in 2012. A lot of people are going to die. A lot of people are going to survive.
I think I have dreams that manifest themselves all the time too, because it's like I see stuff, and I don't know if I'm just like one out of millions or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I have deja vu, and it's not even like you hear people say they have deja vu, right?
Yeah.
I definitely have.
Yeah, for sure.
When I tell you I have deja vu, it freaks me out because it's not just a deja vu where it's like, oh dang, I feel like I've been here.
Right.
It's a deja vu that touches me in the inside.
Oh wow.
Like I'm like, I stop, and Lauren will catch me sometimes, and I don't know if it's like just me spiritually, whatever, like my spirit and been in them situations, or it's just been like a repetitive like thing that we get trapped in, or I don't know, man. But when I tell you it hits me, it stops me in my tracks, and I'll just sit there and just be like, all right, like this is super weird. Yeah. Almost to the point where I'm actually, it's like when you go out there and swing a hammer, you got the same hat, same clothes, everything on, and you go do it 2 days in a row. It's like it's that same feeling, man, and it just like I can't explain it.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you.
It's so hard to explain.
And I just feel like the wrong people are leading. Well, they wrong anyway, but the higher up people are leading the robots in the wrong direction. I feel like shit is about to get real. It's about to be a big like spiritual
us,
war.
As people, we don't never want. Nobody wants to figure out to know themselves enough to show how much power they have to get things together with people, like what we doing right now, sharing ideas, sharing knowledge, and talking about different things. We may be wrong. We may be right. But at the same time, we all three of us can go back and reflect on what we got to say or what we had to say and just build off of that. Yeah. And a lot of people are so biased about what you got to say or what you got to say or what I got to say. Why can't you just be optimistic about what's going on and take it in and just add it to the value of what you already got going on in your mind?
They're robots. They're already programmed.
And it's just hard to get that through people's heads. And that's why I say, man, it's a bunch of people that's just like cruising through here. Yeah. They are in cruise control and they ain't paying attention to nothing.
And like,
they're not sensitive or aware to, like you said, absolutely nothing, man.
Like my bro, I do the Godcast, I do it. Shout out to my bros, Chino and Track. Like, that's how my bro Track is. He don't pay attention to like the outside shit. He's like in his own focus lane. So like the bullshit a lot of people pay attention to that, would trap us and have us like, oh my gosh, he doesn't pay attention to that. That's like when you said that, that reminds me of him. When you had just said like people who in that one lane. And that's how he is.
It's like one of my friends, I was talking to him today. He was like, oh man, I'm not going to step out there and do this right now because Biden in office. And I was like, what? I was like, so what does he got to do with that? Well, people ain't gonna want to spend their money on doing X thing that he was talking about. I said, well, you know what? I said, do this. I said, go out there and kick X thing. Then they gotta come to you to get X thing fixed. And he was like, yo, you crazy. I'm like, it's a facade. I'm like, it's a facade in your mind that we get like trap ourselves in, like with like presidency and things like that you cannot live your life the way you want to, and these things like politics and stuff like that cripple people so much, man. It's like they invest so much energy and time into it, and it cripples their lives. Oh, they said they was gonna do this. 9 times out of 10, what they talking about ain't going to affect people on the scale of where we at right now, and they don't understand. They don't understand that, and they don't want to get that. So that's why I do not invest my time into politics.
I don't either.
If they want to invite me to the White House to eat tea and drink tea and eat crumpets, I'm gonna go do it. Because I'm like, yo,
I'm in the White House.
I'm in the White House. I'm around all these rich people. I'm trying to soak in all this stuff, and you know what? They can say what they want, whatever, but it's just the experiences, and don't invest so much emotion into it, and just take the emotion out of it, and just like talk to people. You live a happy life, man.
Facts.
Yeah, and that's just like my philosophy on that. But we all got to travel to the moon together, because ain't nobody gonna mess with us three.
Nick,
get a bunch of people that's just like us, and let's go to the moon.
Oh man, dude, we figured out a whole lot of different things up there, man.
Like on the way up there, we're already just talking and plotting, and like, what are we gonna do when we get in? Everybody's gonna have different ideas of what to do.
Yeah. So that was a great podcast, man. I know people probably gonna be like, yo, these dudes are geniuses. If they don't say that, then I'm telling you right now, we are geniuses. So thank you.
You're gonna have the ones that's gonna be like, they are crazy. Then you gonna have them like, they on to something, they smart. Like that's why I like with the we don't call ours a podcast. It's a Godcast, because it's like we're on more spiritual shit over there. And like, ever since I've been doing this with my bros, like they've been opening my eyes, and I've been looking at things a lot different. And I love it. And I appreciate everything they didn't like taught me, and I done soaked up from them and learned from them. So
yo, what about me?
What is first of all, I'm a special guest.
So that's the thing too. Me and Chad's probably gonna be my permanent co-guest.
Yes, sir.
So every time we get something set up, I'm gonna have Chad sit in the cockpit.
Of course.
And then, even if I get like 4 microphones, like whatever the case may be, but this is my main guest. Anybody, it can alternate.
And I always love to pop up, be a special guest, and we can have our talks.
Come on through, man.
Yeah, let's do it.
And I'm not even gonna lie, this, even because like type person, I don't like the camera being like, I'm not up front, but this is definitely fuck you, big nose bastard. But this to me, I feel like this is gonna also help me when I do get in front of the camera with the bros. More. Because
I seen you on there one time though.
It's like I'm on there a couple, but mainly because I got my daughter, so a lot of them I can't get to. So
gotcha.
But nah, that and see, that's what a lot of people took it wrong. It's like, well, we seen you at first, but now we like I have also like we all got kids, but I can't maneuver how I want. So with like with my daughter and stuff. So, but don't get it misconstrued. It's still like I'm part of the team. This is a team. This is like something we all been doing together. This is a team. So it took me a while, because I definitely first was not a talkative person in front of the camera. Like I'm still not, but maybe this will help me. And I've been watching like videos and that's why you know what? Funny. Since you want to go there,
hey, gotta love brothers, man.
Facts. Since you want to go there, that's why the leprechaun is gonna be sitting at the edge of your bed, watching you.
Oh, shoot! Hey, yo, leprechauns are freaky, son. Hey, yo, leprechauns are freaky. Look.
Yo, I cannot send. Yo, he sent me a text message with this dude just sitting there like something. You sent me that text. I cannot.
but it was the
Chad,
leprechaun.
That's the only
Oh.
thing in this world I am terrified. Like ever since I've been a kid, man. For some reason, I cannot get jiggy with that dude.
Yo.
I cannot. I will never be able to get jiggy with him.
I don't mess with leprechaun. Like the shortness and then like the speed with the
cra-
shortness,
yo.
man. It's like
Yo, I'm telling
yo,
you.
that's creepy. Like I gotta jump over this little joker. Yo,
It's like-
that's freaky.
And then it's funny because
I want to see a Leprechaun versus Chucky movie.
I
That
would
would
love
be
to see
the
that.
greatest thing in the
and,
world.
and it's crazy
Yeah.
because they was posted it that, but they canceled it
Yeah.
Oh,
after
snap.
the Freddy
I feel
versus
like,
Jason.
yeah.
because they did the Freddy. So they was like, maybe we
Oh.
can do a Chucky versus, but they never did it. I would have
I
loved.
remember
You
that.
got two, like Chucky's a doll, Leprechaun is some type of creature, but they're both funny in a
Yeah.
different type of
Yo,
way.
Leprechaun the Hood son. Yo.
Like Leprechaun has his little rhyme and shit that he
I told
says.
you once. I told you twice.
Yeah, like
I rolled a dice. She'll be my wife.
like he has some funny rhyming, and then it's like Chucky. He's just like he's straightforward, but he's funny with his shit. Like whoever decided to make these characters, yo,
Yeah.
I fucking love y'all, man. Cause
Yeah.
dog,
Yeah.
it's some weird shit. I love to see Chucky versus Leprechaun.
No, I didn't even think about that one in a while. Yeah.
Well, I thank y'all guys, man.
Appreciate
And
it.
Everybody
Appreciate
who
you,
having
listened.
me, man.
Uh-huh.
I said, I appreciate having me on.
Oh
the
yeah,
show, man.
anytime, man.
Yes, sir.
For future episodes to come, and we appreciate everybody that took the time to sit back, listen, whether you're on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, maybe, or whatever platform you're listening to this podcast on. This podcast is about you. It's about everybody in this world, and let's do the right thing to make everybody come together for a common goal: humanity.
And if you don't support my brother and his podcast, I will be in your dreams like Freddie. And I ain't talking about me, I'm talking about my hands. And if you know me and see my fingers, you
Show 'em.
just
Show
imagine
'em. The camera.
Freddie claws and my fingers.
Mhm. Wrap
That's
the
all
wrap
you.
the thumbs
I
real
can't do
quick.
that no more. I wish I
Oh,
could. I would
snap.
do it for them, but I can't do it no more.
Peace out, everybody.
Peace.